So after a really tough weekend, one that you'd have noticed already in the calendar has been a really long road trip, Cardiff, Dundee, it couldn't have been any longer. 1 point from that weekend, are you quite disappointed?
I mean, obviously, the Sunday game we were disappointed, and there's no secret about it. But Saturday it's a tough barn to go to. Anytime you can get a point out of there, you got to be happy. Obviously, we're going for two, but we'll settle for one. And I thought we continuously battled back in that game, and so we showed some good character, to get that point, and just weren't unable to get the second one. And then Sunday, there's 100 reasons why we lost, but the reality is we didn't play good. We got outworked. It was not a good night, and we just clinically we didn't have it. And it was just one of those nights, and we talked about it today. We had practice today, and a good long day today, and went over a lot of things. And those things happen. You gotta make sure that you take what you can out of them and let it burn, and then try to improve.
Just to go back to Saturday briefly, obviously, like you said, it's a very difficult place to go, but if you're really looking to challenge for a title, it's a place like that you've got to take a point. On the plus side, did come away with a point and looked like the better team for much of the game.
Yeah, I thought. It's a scrappy game. I think there was about 100 face-offs that game, and the ice is pretty poor there, and tough for both teams to make plays, and it tends to, you get a lot of icings and a lot of stoppages. So it's a frustrating game for everyone to play in, and the sooner they're in that new rink, the better for everyone, I think. But I know it's like playing ping pong in a phone booth here. It's just the pucks are bouncing, and you gotta simplify it and get pucks to the net. I think every goal we scored was just throwing it at Boundsy, and he was either finding a way off a guy in, or we were just driving the net and got sticks on it here. So it's a different game than obviously playing on the big ice. And I thought our guys, for the most part, that was the first time for a lot of our guys in there, first time for Holtzy in there, and I think we'll have a better understanding when we're back there in December of what we're going into. But I'm happy with the point. Disappointed we didn't get the second one, but definitely happy to start the league off with getting a point out of a tough building.
People always talk about bus legs on these long trips as well. Obviously, you had the longest trip you can do in the Elite League after that, Cardiff up to Dundee. Did you do that one straight, or was there a break-up on it? And did you think that had an effect on the game on Sunday?
You know what? It's too easy to blame that. I think it's too lazy, and it's too easy to blame bus legs, and I think you just give your team an out that they don't deserve. And we're, especially the North American guys, we're used to long travel, and I think it's just too easy. It's too easy to blame that. Then anytime you got a long trip, it's okay to lose, because you got an instant out, and I don't agree with that. And we talked about that, spoke about that this morning, and that's not an excuse we're ever going to use. And the reality is we got a couple long trips. We got another one coming up this weekend, and you got to man up and you got to go play, and that's it. And it's what we get paid for. It's why we're here. We're not prima donnas. We're not football players here. You got to go through the rigors, and the team that do that win championships at the end of the year. It's not all about on ice stuff. It's about making sure you're adjusted to whatever's thrown at you during the year, and we got to battle, and we got great travel here, so we can't be arguing. We got good travel here, and when we are pushed against it, we got to find a way through.
Yeah, and looking again at that Sunday, for the first sort of 5 to 10 minutes, Clan actually looked like they set up really well, were playing really well, things seemed to be clicking, but after that goal, things seemed to kind of fall apart. Was there a lot of positives to be taken from it, and what do you think went wrong?
We were just poor. We were just poor clinically, all over the ice. We were poor in all three zones. We didn't create. We had 20 shots on net. I couldn't tell you last time this team only generated 20. And you got to give Dundee credit. They kept us outside. They got sticks on pucks. They defended well, but we didn't create a whole lot. We just simply were not a good hockey team from the goal line out. And when you're not that way, you lose. We lost 2-1. We had a couple chances possibly to tie it, but we'll learn more from losing that game than we would have if we'd come back and won. So we're looking at it that way. It's a challenge prelim game. We have an opportunity to get those points back. It's a pretty tight group right now in the early stages, so I think we'll learn from that. I think you learn a lot more from losing than you do from winning, and that's the goal now is taking that into this week and then letting it burn and taking it into Belfast on Saturday.
And of course no one really likes losing a game at all, but do you take some solace in the fact that the game where you got the point out of was obviously a league game, an elite league game, and the Challenge Cup? I remember how angry you were when you went out the Challenge Cup last year, so I know it's important, but do you take some solace in the fact that that's the way around the results went?
You could look at it that way, that there's an opportunity to get that point back in the Challenge Cup, whereas in the league there isn't. You drop a point in the league, you drop a point here. So, but saying that we want to finish top of the group, and to finish top of the group, you typically want to run that table, and we dropped 2 valuable points, and we got an opportunity on Saturday to get them back.
Just before I mentioned about this weekend, obviously Dundee, people were suggesting that the Gardner conference was Braehead's conference to lose. Dundee have come out now. Do you think they'll take a lot of solace from that as well?
Yeah, I think Fife is going to be a good squad. I thought they got great, tremendous speed, and I think Dundee have definitely improved their team, and they've knocked off some big teams already. So it's definitely I think the whole Gardner conference has gone up a level. I think Edinburgh is a much improved team as well, and we haven't seen Manchester yet, so I can't really comment on them. But yeah, I think it's going to be a lot more difficult for us to do what we did last year in this conference. But at the same time, we want to continue that, but we want to also do a lot better, especially on the road in the other conference. So getting a point in Cardiff is a decent start for us.
Yeah, and on the road in the other conference is exactly the task in hand for next weekend. Another long trip to Belfast and then another difficult trip again to Nottingham. What have you got on your sights for these games coming up, and what is it to look out for?
Yeah, obviously it's the first time we're seeing Belfast on Saturday. We're doing our homework on them right now. They're an explosive team. They got quite a few new guys, which is relatively new. They've been kind of the same team for the last few years, and a new coach and a new system. So we're excited for that challenge. It's always fun to go over to Belfast. A lot of fun for guys first time going into Northern Ireland and playing. So I'm excited to see where we are with them. And then we got another long travel day to get to Nottingham, and like I said, we play them in exhibition. They didn't have a lot of imports in. They're going to be a completely different team here. So, and that's a big one. That's another one. That's a league game. It's on the second day of a long travel, and we didn't execute last weekend, and the challenge now for the boys is to execute this weekend, especially on day 2 in the league. We want to make sure that we're coming out and playing a full 60 minutes.
Has there been any changes to the boys' regime during the week this week? Have you changed anything up, or has it been business as usual? You know the drill.
No, yeah, business as usual here. We're amping everything up a little bit. When you lose, you gotta pay it a little bit more. So we're amping our practices up, and we're competing and asking for a lot more out of the guys here. When you're winning, it's easy. Things flow and things tick, and it's fun. But when you're losing, you gotta get back to basics here, and you gotta put the work in to get back to winning ways here. It just doesn't naturally come. So we had a great skate today. The guys are at the gym right now as we speak, and they'll be put through their rigors here today. And like I said, it was a great day of training. Guys understood. Guys respect the fact that we don't accept losing here, and we don't want to lose. And as a group, we lost on Sunday from me out, and we got to be better. And we had a good day today.
Is it one of those things? Do you even have the need to go in, and everyone expects the hairdryer treatment is what you hear all the time? Is that something you need when you've got a dressing room that's as experienced as the one that you have at the moment?
I think yelling and shouting doesn't get you too far these days, and you got to have a purpose for what you're saying, and we take care of behind our scenes the way I like to take care of it, and it's up to the guys to respond. It's up to me to make sure the guys are responding in the right way, and this is a good character test to see where we're at right now.
Good luck for the weekend. Thank you very much, Ryan. Cheers there.